All the time people are asking me, well, do you carry the fireworks up, and no, we don't carry the fireworks. They only carried them the first year. It definitely was a bit to carry. We carry sleeping bags and some overnight stuff since we spend the night. Back then, if it was a one-day deal, they probably were wearing all the clothes they needed and didn't need to carry too much on their back. Then after that, they started taking it up on the train ahead of time and leaving it. Fireworks come with where you hand light them or something, and we put electronic igniters on them. So we do all that ahead of time and get everything ready, and then we have a specially built trailer that we shoot the fireworks from. So we take all that stuff up just a few days before. In the old days, the club would get the fireworks in Summit House all lined up, and they'd do like a bucket brigade out the door and out up to the fireworks where they were shooting them in the mortars. So George would drop one in the mortar, back off, and then Jim Bates had a flare, and he'd light it and just duck down, and let it, and it would shoot off right next to him, I think they had different ways to do the mortars, but in the pictures we've got, they had like a big metal box, and they would put the mortars in the metal box and fill it with sand. So that all kind of held them. The mortars were made out of metal. Those guys. So one year they actually lit one, it went and nothing happened, So then they all went inside the Summit House, because you had to wait and let it, make sure it was safe or something. And then a little bit later, kaboom, it blew up in the mortar, and pieces of metal mortar were embedded in the side of the Summit House. Nowadays, mortars are made out of plastic, polyethylene. And so if something blows up in those mortars, they tend to just shoot off like pieces of plastic. It won't go far, and we shoot from about 100 feet away. We have an electronic cable to a box, and we can shoot from electronically from a distance. You have to have somebody certified to kind of shoot the show and be in charge of it, so that we're safe and that you know what the rules are and all that. But then you can have people help set up, just at the direction of somebody who knows what they're doing, And then we always let the new member actually shoot the show. So he's the one who hits the buttons. I think we shoot 60 6-inch fireworks. For years, that's been what we did. And then a few years ago, we decided to try what's called a cake. And a cake is just a box of fireworks. And you don't light it individually like we do with the rest. You can light one side and it'll just automatically shoot. That adds an extra 100 shells to the show. You can light those things from one side or two sides. When we're in the show, we'll light one and let it just shoot from one side, whatever it is, a couple seconds between each shell. And then when we get to the finale, we'll light 2 cakes from 2 sides. So we're shooting like 4 shells at a time, to generate a better finale.